Assalamu alaikum. Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, today I am here with the part 4 of Civic chapter number 4, Electoral Politics. Friends, in the previous lecture, we had started system of election in India. In that, we had discussed 2 points. Number 1, electoral constituency, and number 2, voter list. Before we discuss other point of election system, I would like to revise both the point in brief. Our country is divided into different areas for the purpose of election, and these areas are called electoral constituency. For the parliament election, our country is divided into 543 parliament constituency. Same way, every states of our country are divided into different state constituency. The member of Lok Sabha, the member of parliament is known as MP, and member of state assembly is known as MLA, member of legislative assembly. Then we had discussed that in our country some seats are reserved for SC and ST category people. 84 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and 47 seats are reserved for scheduled tribe. Second, voter list. In democratic election, the list of the people who are eligible to vote is prepared much before election and given to everyone. It is known as electoral roll, or in our common language we are calling it a voter list. Now I would like to discuss the remaining points of the system of election in India. Number 3, nomination of candidates. Elections are held, but the question is there, who can nominate for the election? So anyone who can be a voter can also become a candidate in election. Here you have to keep in mind the age limit to be a voter is 18 years of age. But the candidate should be minimum of 25 years of age to contest an election. Yeah, it is obvious that anyone can be a voter, can also become a candidate. But 25 years is the age limit to contest the election. Every person who wishes to contest an election has to fill out a nomination form and give some money as security deposit. Those who want to contest election They have to fill up the form. Even they have to put some money as security deposit to contest election. The candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of following. At a time of filling form, the candidate has to make a legal declaration of his personal information. First, serious criminal case pending against him or her. It is the duty, it is mandatory for candidate to declare his or her personal information at the time of filling up a election form. First, regarding to criminal cases pending against him or her. Second, details of the assets, properties and liabilities, responsibility of the candidate and his family. The detail of the property, assets and liabilities of the candidate, he or she has to declare at a time of filling up a form. Number 3, educational qualification of the candidate. Educational qualification of the candidate, he or she has to declare at a time of filling up a form. So, at a time of casting vote, voter can get the idea the candidate is educated or uneducated. This information is made available to public so the voter can make their decision on the basis of information provided by the candidate. Whatever information, declaration done by the candidate, this information is made available to the public. So, the people, the voters, those who are going to give vote, they can make their decision on the basis of information provided by candidate. Suppose Mr. X provided information regarding pending criminal case against him. So at the time of giving vote, voter should think, is it right to elect any criminal as our representative? So this information should be available to the people so they can decide on the basis of that information. So this was the third step in the process of election. Number 4, election campaign. The election campaign are conducted to have free and open discussion about who is better representative and in turn which party will make a better government. Students, you have idea at a time of election, local election, village panchayat election, municipality election, or maybe at the time of state assembly election, or even at the time of parliament election, the leaders They are organizing meetings with the voters. They are conducting rallies. They are delivering speeches to the people, and in their speeches they are giving the ideas of their policy of running government. So by providing this information and by comparing their achievement with the other party, with the other candidate, they try to convince, they try to attract as many as voters in their favor. In India, election campaign take place for 2-week period between the announcement of the final list of candidate and date of polling. In India, election campaign take place for the 2 weeks after the announcement of final list of the candidate and the date of polling. During this period, the candidate contact their voter, and political leader address election meeting, and political parties mobilize their support. During this 2-week period of time, the candidate try to contact voters personally. Some of the prominent leaders of the party, they address the election meeting, and the members of political parties, they try to mobilize their support for the election. Even at the time of election, parties are using different slogan to attract the voters in their favor. Some of the successful slogan used by different political parties in various elections are Save Democracy, Land to Tiller. These slogans, Save Democracy, is given by Janata Party in the election of 1977. Land to Tiller slogan given by Left Front in the assembly election of West Bengal. Protect the self-respect of the Telugu. It was the slogan given by Telugu Desam Party in the assembly election of 1983. Indira Gandhi, the former Prime Minister, she gave a slogan, Garibi Hatao, means remove poverty, in the Lok Sabha election of 1971. So these are the successful slogan given by different party in various elections in India. According to India's election law, no party or candidate can use, now this is important, no parties or candidate can use the following. Number 1, bribe or threaten voters. They are not allowed to use, or they are not allowed to offer bribe, or even they cannot threaten voters to give vote in their favor. Even no party or candidate can appeal to them in the name of caste or religion. Parties and candidates, they cannot allow to appeal to the voters in the name of religion or name of caste. Number 3, they cannot use government resources for election campaign. Government property, government vehicle, government offices, they cannot use for election campaign. Even candidates are not allowed to spend more than 25 lakh rupee in constituency for Lok Sabha election during election campaign, or candidate cannot allow to spend 10 lakh rupees in constituency in state assembly election during election campaign. So these are the guidelines as per the election law in India. If any political party does so, their election can be rejected by the court. In addition to this election law, all the political parties in our country have agreed on model code of conduct for election campaign. There is a model code of conduct for election campaign, and all political parties in our country, they have agreed on this model code of conduct. According to this, no party or candidate can use any place of worship for election propaganda. For election campaign, candidates and parties are not allowed to use any place of worship, masjid, temple, churches, gurudwara. They are not allowed to use for election campaign. According to this model code of conduct, parties and candidates are not allowed to use government vehicle, aircrafts and official for election. They cannot use government properties such as vehicles, aircraft. Even they are not allowed to use government official for their election campaign. Number 3, parties and candidates are not allowed, once election are announced, minister shall not lay foundation stone of any project. Once election is announced, ministers, they are not allowed to lay foundation of any project. They are not allowed to start a new project. Even they are not allowed to take any big policy decision, or even they are not allowed to make any promises to the people for providing public facilities. Once election announced, minister cannot lay the foundation of any project. They cannot take any big policy decision, or even they are not allowed to make any promises to provide public facility at a time of election. So this is known as model code of conduct. Students, the last and 5th steps of the election system I will discuss in next lecture. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.